Hey guys, it's Janie. Welcome back to the Crafting Bookworm. Today I've got a tag for you. Okay, welcome back everyone. Welcome new subscribers. Thanks to all of you for your continued support. Whether you're here for books or crafts, I appreciate each and every one of you. So I have a tag for you today. I was tagged by Elaine, and the original tag was by Karen at Roving Reader, and the tag is called Bring Back Browsing Book Tag. So let's get started on this. There's only 4 prompts for this one, and then 5 is the tag people. So the first one is, let me put my eyes on here so I can see what I'm reading here. Magic of Discovery. Share a book you found while browsing that you may not have discovered otherwise. And I've talked about this book, I feel like, in a wrap-up, and that book is 29 Seconds by T.M. Logan. This, you guys, was fantastic, and I never would have thought to look this up. We were at our used bookstore when I found this, and I kind of want to say it was on the sale racks. I don't know. I don't remember exactly where I got it from, but this was fantastic. Let me go ahead and just read this synopsis for you guys. Sarah is a young professor struggling to prove herself in a workplace controlled by the charming and manipulative Alan Hawthorne. A renowned scholar and television host, Hawthorne rakes in million-dollar grants for the university where Sarah works. So his inappropriate treatment of female colleagues behind closed doors has gone unchallenged for years, and Sarah is his newest target. When Hawthorne's advances become threatening, Sarah is left with nowhere to turn, until the night she witnesses an attempted kidnapping of a young child on her drive home and impulsively jumps in to intervene. The child's father turns out to be a successful businessman with dangerous connections, and her act of bravery has put this powerful man in her debt. He gives Sarah a burner phone and an unbelievable offer, a once-in-a-lifetime deal that can make all her problems disappear. No consequences, no traces. All it takes is a 29-second phone call, because everyone has a name to give, don't they? So when I read that initially, that was the reason why I grabbed the book. You guys, this was an adrenaline rush for one. I love my thrillers. This one falls into that bracket, and I am so glad that I discovered this book and really enjoyed it. It's not huge. It's not huge. And the fluidity of it was amazing. The characters, fantastic. Just everything was great for this book. So, if you've not read 29 Seconds by T.M. Logan, pick it up, because I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy this one. Okay. The next one is Expanding World. Share a book that has made you view things from different perspective or exposed you to new ideas. And for that one, I'm going to say The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. I believe I've read all of Kristen Hanna's books, and really enjoy them. Every one of them will make you think. Every one of them will make you feel. And no other author has really struck on every chord with me. And Kristen Hanna really does that. She writes great historicals, and she's able to put you in the plot, and you feel like you're there, and you're feeling everything these people are feeling. Again, I'm going to go ahead and read you the synopsis of this book as well. Ernst Albright, a former POW, comes home from the Vietnam War a changed and volatile man. When he loses yet another job, he makes the impulsive decision. He will move his family north to Alaska, where they will live off the grid in America's last true frontier. 13-year-old Lenny, a girl coming of age in a tumultuous time, caught in the riptide of her parents' passionate, stormy relationship, dares to hope that a new land will lead to a better future for her family. She is desperate for a place to belong. Her mother, Cora, will do anything and go anywhere for the man she loves, even if it means following him into the unknown. At first, Alaska seems to be the answer to their prayers. In a wild, remote corner of the state, they find a fiercely independent community of strong men and even stronger women. The long sunlit days and the generosity of the locals make up for the Albrights' lack of preparation and dwindling resources. But as winter approaches and darkness descends on Alaska, Ernst's fragile mental state deteriorates and the family begins to fracture. Soon, the perils outside pale in comparison to the threats from within. In their small cabin, covered in snow, blanketed in 18 hours of night, Lenny and her mother learn the terrible truth. They are on their own. In the wild, there is no one to save them but themselves. In this unforgettable portrait of human frailty and resilience, Kristen Hanna reveals the indomitable character of modern American pioneer and the spirit of a vanishing Alaska. Okay, you guys, this book, wow, they go through a lot of stuff, you know, and these are things that we don't always think about, you know, in our modern day, you know, lives and the things that, you know, we do and accomplish. But you go and read something like this and you're like, wow, I could never have probably even survived something like this. You know, I had an uncle who lived in Alaska for years, many years, and he never even told us, you know, stories or, you know, stuff like that. But this was fantastic. I absolutely loved the characters. I loved how they would come together and just make things work. And she's a very fluid writer. Kristen Hanna writes very fluidly, and that's amazing as well. This was fantastic. I urge you to read it. This was a 5-star read. I feel like all of Kristen Hanna's books were 5 stars for me. She's just an amazing writer. So even if you've, you know, don't even know who Kristen Hanna is and you want to pick something up, even if it wouldn't be this book, she's got a lot of great stories. Okay, so for number 3, we've got Open to Change. Share a book that has changed who you are as a person or altered your day-to-day habits. This one will probably be unexpected, but it's this one right here, the Holy Bible. This is a daily reader for me, you guys. I have learned so much. I live my life by the words of this book, and you can't go wrong. A lot of people think, the Bible, what? I don't want to read the Bible, you know, and I was one of those people too. I've read the Bible through once already, and that was years and years ago that I've read it through. But now my family and I are reading it, and we are now up to 1 Kings. We're in 1 Kings. This is not a light read. You all probably know that. There is a lot of stuff to try to decipher, a lot of things to try to understand, but it is worth it. There is some great storytelling in here, different stories that different people have written about, and it is just fabulous. I have completely just read, well, almost completely read the whole New Testament just in the past several months. I had to go back to read Acts because I jumped ahead with my daughter to read Romans and then went from Romans on. And so I'm back in Acts right now. That's the last book I need to read in the New Testament. And then, of course, when we get to the New Testament, we'll all be reading that again. It is a great resource for life, for sure. And when you read this, you learn a lot of things about life then and life now. It was written with, you know, all of us now. It was with us in mind. That's, you know, when these Bible pages were put together. God has a plan, and you read all about that in this book right here. So do yourself a favor and, you know, just read a little bit of it every day. It won't hurt you, you know. And if you don't want to read a King James version, there's lots of versions out there that make it a little bit easier to understand. So, yeah, this is my answer for number 3. Okay, let's go to number 4. Browse a bookstore, library, or friend shelves and talk about a book that you found there. Well, I did browse my bookstore specifically for this book. This is The Women by Kristen Hanna. I've not read it yet. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in another video not too long ago about how I want to get to this book this year. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to get to this book. I hear it's a great story. It's about a woman who, I'll just read the synopsis. I'll just read the synopsis again. Okay. Women can be heroes. When 20-year-old nursing student Frances Frankie McGrath hears these words, it is a revelation. Raised in the sun-drenched idyllic world of Southern California and sheltered by her conservative parents, she has always prided herself on doing the right thing. But in 1965, the world is changing, and she suddenly dares to imagine a different future for herself. When her brother ships out to serve in Vietnam, she joins the Army Nurse Corps and follows his path. As green and inexperienced as the men sent to Vietnam to fight, Frankie is overwhelmed by the chaos and destruction of war. Each day is a gamble of life and death, hope and betrayal. Friendships run deep and can be shattered in an instant. In war, she meets and becomes one of the lucky, the brave, the broken, and the lost. But war is just the beginning for Frankie and her veteran friends. The real battle lies in coming home to a changed and divided America, to angry protesters, and to a country that wants to forget Vietnam. Okay, my dad was in the Vietnam War. He didn't really talk about that, or I don't remember things that he talked about because I was very young. And you don't hear as much about the Vietnam War, so I like the fact that there's a book. I mean, I haven't come across, anything that was really big. When you're talking about the wars, they're really talking about the world wars, and just from my experience. And I haven't really found a lot on the Vietnam War. So, yeah, this book is I feel like this book's really going to make me feel something. Because they always do. And I'm really wanting to read this book. And I'm going to try and get this book in before the end of the year. I really want to read it this year. So, yeah, this book I went browsing for. And this book I found. And I actually went to a used bookstore. And I didn't expect to find it. But I wanted to look. And there it was on the front shelf. And I snatched it up. Just like that. So I want to get that book read soon. So I'm going to try and fit that book in. But those were the 4 prompts. Number 5 is tag people. If you're watching this video, you're tagged. Go ahead and do this tag. Let me know if you do the tag so I can come watch if you do a video. Yeah, that would be fun. If you guys have read any of these books, even the Bible, let me know what your thoughts were on each one of those down in the comments below. No spoilers on the women, please. So yeah, also please make sure you go by and check out Elaine at Cobalt Dragon and go to Karen at Roving Reaver, who has the original tag on this. Go visit their channels and subscribe. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for staying tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.